Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. The measures announced by the Chancellor of the Exchequer in his autumn statement are sensible, responsible and will make a real difference to the people and businesses across the two cities. The Government has taken a pragmatic approach to delivering tax cuts. We all know that the cost of the measures to support businesses and households through the COVID pandemic and the energy price shock caused by Putin's illegal invasion of Ukraine drove up spending and meant that tax cuts were impractical for a long time. But as we continue to rebuild our economy, improve productivity and focus on growth, we do so by following competent and careful economic management. That is why I am pleased to see my right honourable friend the Chancellor announce fully funded tax cuts which will have a real impact on both families and businesses. The autumn statement was the biggest package of tax cuts announced as a fiscal event since the 1980s. And the first of the two major headlines for me was the permanent extension of the full expensing policy. This will act as a springboard to help UK companies to invest in the latest technologies, machinery and create highly skilled jobs. And the second, of course, was the 2% reduction in national insurance, a tax cut for 27 million people, which will ensure they will keep more of their earnings to spend or save as they wish. The Chancellor was also right to prioritise helping people into work to boost the economy. Just last week I was pleased to join the then Employment Minister, the Honourable Member of Hexham, on a visit to the Italian cafe and deli Benvenuti in Pimlico, where we discussed the Government's new sector-based work academy programme, Hospitality Trial Run, in partnership with the trade body UK Hospitality, to encourage more people into careers in the hospitality sector. This programme and last week's announcement of a further £50 million to support apprenticeships clearly show that this government recognises that getting people into work and helping them to train and retrain and develop their careers, no matter what their age or background, is the best way to help people and support the economy. And Mr Deputy Speaker, I'm delighted that the member for Hexham is now the Transport Minister who is seeing the pedicabs bill through this place. Not only is this autumn statement providing more opportunities for people to get into new and exciting careers, but the Chancellor has also announced significant support for households. Raising local housing allowance rates to the 30th percentile of local market rents in April 2024 is a huge difference. This will benefit 1.6 million low-income households who will be around £800 a year better off on average, and certainly will be welcome news for thousands of households across the two cities. Mr Deputy Speaker, I am proud that my constituency is embracing the life sciences sector, having attracted thousands of jobs to the Paddington Basin development. And I'm also delighted that the Imperial Health Trust new Alexander Fleming Centre is being created in Paddington, backed with £5 million of seed funding announced in the autumn statement. This is where penicillin was first discovered, and this new centre will help us in the global fight against the antimicrobial resistance and further establishes the two cities as an important centre for the growing life sciences industry. But, Mr Speaker, it would be remiss of me not to mention the important work undertaken by the City of London Corporation as they continue to strive to ensure our financial and professional services remain the best in the world and keep the square mile the place where companies from every corner of the globe want to do business, which we know has a massive and positive knock-on effect to support over 2 million jobs across the United Kingdom. It is therefore good to hear that the Chancellor is pressing ahead on pension reforms, which was unveiled with the signing of the Mansion House Compact in the City in July this year. Mr Deputy Speaker, the measures announced in the autumn statement do not only protect economic prosperity, they also protect our communities. Nobody can be immune from the dreadful scenes in the Middle East. Sadly, we have seen the repercussions of terror attacks and the ongoing conflict in Gaza on our own streets. And I've been appalled by the testimonies I've heard from my own Jewish community, who are genuinely scared of the rise in anti-Semitism by 1,350% in London alone. Therefore, I welcome the Chancellor's announcement in the autumn statement of £3 million of additional funding this year to the Community Security Trust and a further £7 million over the next 3 years for organisations like the Holocaust Education Trust to help tackle anti-Semitism. But, Mr Deputy Speaker, I must take the opportunity to highlight one measure that we sadly didn't see in the autumn statement, which would have profound economic benefits for the City of London and Westminster, the capital and the whole country, and that is tax-free shopping for international visitors. And I recognise that the autumn statement does deliver support for retail, hospitality and leisure industries through extending the Retail, Hospitality and Leisure Relief Scheme, which will continue to provide eligible occupied retail, hospitality, leisure properties with 75% relief on business rates. And this is all welcome, but new research from CBR shows that the total increase in spending from international visitors under the former tax-free shopping scheme would have been £3.3 billion in 2022 if it hadn't been scrapped. And the reason for this is due to the dynamic nature of international visitors' spending habits. While they would receive a tax break on their shopping, they still pay VAT in the restaurants they dine in, the theatres, the pubs, the bars, the clubs, the hotels they stay in, and of course the black cabs they use. Places like Knightsbridge and the West End, particularly Oxford Street, Bond Street and Regent Street, are really feeling the pinch since international tax-free shopping disappeared. And large international luxury brands all report a fall in their revenues compared to their outlets in Milan and Paris. We really do need to see this come back. The government does recognise the tremendous opportunities which lay ahead for the economy and the United Kingdom, and I applaud the Chancellor for the work he has done to strengthen the economy so that we can now focus on growth and prosperity for all. And I look forward to working with him to ensure that the economy continues to bounce back from the pandemic and flourish for years to come.